This might be the most cursed season in recent memory for the Minnesota Vikings, and if you're watching this, chances are you're feeling it deep in your purple soul. The kind of pain that doesn't just sting, it lingers. A gut-wrenching 19-17 loss to the Chicago Bears on a Cairo Santos game-winning field goal has pushed the fan base to the edge. And it's not just about losing. It's how we're losing. This is a season that feels like a slow-motion train wreck, and the wreckage is piling up, week after week. We'll analyze everything, but first, be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay well informed. Let's talk about J.J. McCarthy. 5 games in, and the fan base is already split down the middle. Some are ready to bail, already chanting names like Mendoza and Ty Simpson on social media. But hold on, this isn't just a hot take, this is about what we're seeing. J.J. McCarthy isn't the quarterback we thought he'd be coming out of Michigan. He's not Brock Purdy. He's not hitting the ground running. But that doesn't mean he's a bust. McCarthy is a developmental quarterback in the middle of a franchise caught in a win-now identity crisis. And that's a recipe for chaos. The Vikings built this roster, this coaching staff, to contend. This was supposed to be the season to climb. But what we're witnessing is a slow descent. And it's painful. JJ isn't playing clean football. He's hunting big plays like a gunslinger. In fact, if we're being brutally honest, he's looked a lot like Nick Mullins. Every other throw is a gamble. Some hit, some look like they belong in a high school tape. But the flashes are there. You want clutch? Look back at week 1 against the Bears. He was nails. 2 weeks ago against the Lions, same story. And even in this loss, when it mattered most, the kid delivered a drive, 6 of 8 for 77 yards and a touchdown to give the Vikings the lead late. You take that away, and the numbers get ugly, 10 for 24 for about 70 yards and 2 picks. But that final drive? That was real. That was a glimpse into what he could be. And here's the raw truth, this franchise has never hoisted a Lombardi. 0 Super Bowl wins. We are a team marinated in misfortune. So for those screaming to blow it all up, draft someone new, reset again, do you really believe the next guy is going to magically fix it? No. It's going to take time, patience, and development. And if we're giving up on JJ now, 5 games in, are we even learning from our past? Meanwhile, the defense is doing everything it can to carry this sinking ship. Jalen Redmond is emerging as one of the lone bright spots this season. A warrior on the interior, he's battling through after overcoming blood clots in college, showing relentless energy and pressure. He needs a contract extension. Lock him in now, he's showing signs of being a cornerstone. And then there's Andrew Van Ginkel. Every single game, this guy is just there. Clutch moments? He owns them. Pressures, sacks, big plays, he's become the heartbeat of this unit. That $20 million extension is looking like a steal. Throw in Dallas Turner stepping up with Jonathan Jennett out, getting a sack, 2 TFLs, and nearly taking a screen pass to the house. This defense is playing like a top 5 unit. And yet, they're losing. Why? Because they're getting nothing in return from the offense. These guys are busting it week in and week out, only to watch the other side of the ball collapse. Against the Lions. Against the Ravens. Now against the Bears. This defense has carried the team. And at some point, you've got to feel for them. Credit to Brian Flores, though. His defensive scheme has been masterful. He's making elite offensive minds look ordinary. If I'm an NFL team looking for a head coach next season, Flores is at the top of my list. He's turned this unit into a monster despite the chaos around them. And let's not pretend Kevin O'Connell is the problem here. He coached a brilliant game. He put J.J. McCarthy in position to succeed. He had wide receivers running free, and he adjusted the game plan to shorten it, manage the clock, and give the team a fighting chance late. If it weren't for a special teams meltdown and JJ's early game struggles, we'd be calling it a coaching masterclass. Now let's talk about the offensive playmakers, because this next part is hard to say. They've regressed badly. Justin Jefferson is still an all-time talent, but he's not the same guy. He's had bad quarterback play before and still posted 1,400-yard seasons. Now, he's dropping passes and vanishing at critical moments. And Jordan Addison, yes, the touchdown catch was impressive, but 2 brutal drops and inconsistent play make it hard to rely on him. With a rookie QB, that's unacceptable. TJ Hawkinson? He's done. Missed catches, lack of separation, 0 explosiveness. He's making $20 million a year and playing like a league minimum guy. It's a disaster contract. This offense is a mess, and unless something changes fast, this season might go down as one of the most frustrating in franchise history. But now, I want to hear from you, Vikings fans. Are you giving up on J.J. McCarthy? Drop a Y for yes or an N for no in the comments. Let's hear it. Are you all in or all out? Let's keep going because what's unfolding with the Minnesota Vikings isn't just another disappointing season, it's a full-blown identity crisis, and we need to talk about it. There's a cultural fracture emerging inside this team. On one hand, you've got a locker room full of veterans who came here to win now. They've been sold a vision of competing in January, not limping through November. On the other hand, you have J.J. McCarthy, a quarterback that needs time, reps, patience, and probably another full offseason before he's truly ready to lead this team. That disconnect is starting to show on the field. The frustration is leaking into the body language. You can feel it in the stadium. And the worst part? It's not getting better. It's getting worse. Go back and rewatch the body language during that Bears game. Watch Jefferson after his drops. Watch Addison after his second mistake. Hockenson? He looks like he's just going through the motions. These aren't just isolated moments, they're symptoms of a group that doesn't believe right now. That's dangerous. Because if this team checks out mentally, the rest of the season becomes a freefall. And what do you do when your stars fade? What do you do when your leaders go silent? You lean on effort. You lean on defense. And for now, that's all we've got. Jalen Redmond, Andrew Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, Brian Flores. These guys are leaving it all on the field every week. But they can't score touchdowns. They can't move the chains. And they sure can't erase the mistakes happening on offense. The most infuriating part about this? The talent is there. The pieces are there. But the execution is falling apart. Every time the Vikings have a chance to change the narrative, boom. Another collapse. Whether it's a late turnover, a missed block, a dropped pass, or a blown special teams assignment, this team finds a way to lose. It's death by 1,000 cuts. And it's becoming a weekly tradition. And for those calling for Kevin O'Connell's job, stop. Now. The man is coaching his heart out. He's doing everything he can to hold this thing together with duct tape and grit. And he's doing it with a rookie quarterback who, frankly, isn't ready. But he's trying. He's giving JJ the tools. He's adjusting. He's scheming guys open. You can't pin this on the coach when the players aren't executing. But execution isn't just about play calls, it's about leadership. And right now, the locker room needs someone to step up. Whether it's Jefferson, Addison, or even McCarthy himself, someone has to take accountability. Someone has to plant a flag and say, enough. Because if this keeps spiraling, the season isn't just lost, the culture might be too. Let's pivot for a second, because this isn't all doom and gloom. There are a few foundational blocks being laid here. Jalen Redmond looks like a future Pro Bowl caliber defensive tackle. He's been disruptive, dominant, and consistent. This guy needs to be extended. The front office can't afford to wait on that. Lock him in before his price skyrockets. Andrew Van Ginkel? He's proving every week that he's not just a role player, he's a defensive cornerstone. He's playing every down like it's his last. You can't teach that kind of motor. And Dallas Turner, still early in his career, but already showing flashes of brilliance. He's aggressive, smart, and learning fast. That's the kind of trio you can build a defense around. The irony here is that the side of the ball we worried about the most coming into the season, defense, has become the team's only real strength. And it's because Brian Flores is turning water into wine. This man is out scheming teams with limited personnel and getting elite results. If he's not on the shortlist for head coaching jobs after this year, something's wrong. But selfishly, Vikings fans should be praying he stays. And now let's zoom out. Big picture. This isn't just about 2025. This is about the next 5 years. The Vikings need to decide, are we rebuilding or are we contending? Because straddling the line between those two worlds, trying to win now with a quarterback who needs time, isn't working. It's causing friction. It's stunting growth. And it's alienating the fan base. If J.J. McCarthy is the guy, and that's still an if, then this team needs to go all in on his development. That means surrounding him with reliable playmakers. That means scheming for his strengths. That means allowing him to fail and learn. But if they're not willing to do that, if they're going to yank the plug early and start over again, then what are we even doing here? We've seen this movie before. A young quarterback flashes. The team gives up too soon. The next guy comes in. Rinse. Repeat. And all we get are decades of heartbreak, blown leads, and empty Januaries. That can't be the story again. Not this time. Not with this kid. Because as flawed as JJ has been, he's also shown something that can't be coached, grit. That final drive against the Bears? That was heart. That was raw, unfiltered belief. And yeah, It didn't end in a win. But maybe, just maybe, that's the spark this team needs to build something real. Something lasting. So now it's your turn. Vikings fans, we need to hear from you. Do you still believe in J.J. McCarthy? Should the Vikings stay the course and build around him, or hit the reset button again? Drop your full thoughts in the comments. We're reading everything. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, you're a real one. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you want real Vikings talk every week, raw, unfiltered, and straight from the heart of Minnesota. And don't forget to share this with a fellow fan who's riding the roller coaster with you. We're in this together. SKOL forever.